Hey guys, it's Sir Meliodas here again, and I just wanted to go over a couple more things I was noticing about the game. And one thing I think is really crucial that everybody really pays attention to is this library right up here. Now, the game didn't really give us a clear understanding of what this does, so I kind of wanted to break it down for you guys a little bit. Now, each one of these little galleries that you see or little sets are going to give you boosts, basically. So you're going to want to have them filled out and completed, and there's several ways you can go about that. So if you're clicking on Belinda and Lucius here, as long as you have this set completed, as you can tell, there's 3 different tiers to that. You either have both of the heroes, you have them at Elite Plus or Legendary Plus will give you the best benefits. You don't have to have them ascended like what you see down here. Now what this does is it gives you those boosts at all times. Now they don't both have to be on the field at the same time. So you just have to have this filled out. So as you can see, I have this here. If you look down at the bottom, right around this area, you're going to see I'm using one of my friend's heroes, and I'll go over that in just a second. So you don't necessarily have to have them on the field at the same time, but I do have this set completed because I use Lucius so much. That is my Lucius that's sitting in there. This significantly helps him at all times. So you guys are going to want to go through and complete not only the ones that for heroes you use, but the other ones, just because you never know what you're going to run into in the future. There's been plenty of times where when I started, I thought I was only going to be using the light bearers. And so that's all I used. I went through and I didn't really focus on anything else, but in time, you'll see there's plenty of these other factions that have viable characters to use. Brutus, for instance, a lot of the healers. And they're kind of spread out throughout here. Several ones I can go over that I really think are good. These two, I actually use both these heroes. They're both mine down there. Incredible combination. I don't always use them at the same time, as I'll take Estrada out and put Rowan in, as I went over in my last video. Even though he's not even ascended, it's just with his gear, his skills are so good that it makes a lot of the team just function a whole lot better. But yeah, go through this library. You'll see I've got a few I need to go in and add, and I'll go ahead and do that right now while we talk about some of the friends. Let me back up real quick and go over this friends list thing. You'll see here you have all your friends. You'll want to keep that active. If you see people that haven't been on in days, go ahead and get rid of them. Come over to this chat. Just go ahead and hit add me. A lot of these people are going to throw ads at you immediately. So you want to fill that up for several reasons. You're going to be able to send and receive hearts, which will allow you to purchase cards in the store, which I can also go over in just a moment. But more than anything else, it's going to give you their heroes to use to both fill out this library, borrow, finish bounty board quests as well. I do have mine completed. It's going to reset here in about 6 hours. I'll probably be recording another video because the labyrinth's coming out again tonight, and I'd really like to go over that with you guys as well. But moving forward here, this library, let's go ahead and complete these out. I can use some of my heroes. Some of these aren't ascendable heroes, as you can see. I use those a lot to level up my heroes. So these ones change quite often, so that they go. These blue, obviously, I'm going to level up, so they're going to go away, and I'm going to have to do this again. So sometimes it gets kind of tedious, and I just don't do it. Especially if it's for heroes that I'm not using currently. Like this set here, I don't use any of these heroes on my current sets or even in my labyrinths. So I'm not quite as worried about it, but again, it really is important that you take the time to do that. And then the other thing that's going to make you so much better at this game, and I know it seems tedious, but really spend some time and read these. You click on these heroes, click their skills, read these and understand them. If you guys if you have any questions about any of these specific heroes, who works good with who, what's going to be a better team, what kind of tanks work with what factions, and what cross-faction teams work well together, just leave a comment down below. We'll get to those as soon as possible and kind of either answer them on there or just make a video for you to kind of explain that. Now, literally, even if it's not characters you're using, you're going to want to read those. One thing I've found in the arena, even, you could go up against a team that's got a whole lot less power than you, and they could destroy you, and it can get really frustrating really fast if you don't understand what these abilities do and what heroes you want to watch out for. For instance, there are a couple heroes that can't be ascended that are very, very deadly mid-game to early game that can mess you up. Sevius is one of them. If you read his abilities, they're insane. I don't know what would happen if they were to make that card ascended. I don't know how they could make that better. But late game, you play against an ascended version against the game in the story chapter modes, and it's devastating. He throws a spear super fast. He powers up every time he hits you. He regenerates health. You see him going crazy right there. There are several heroes you want to watch out for, so you do want to spend some time and really read them. You can see the creators of the game spent a lot of time on these heroes. All the ascended ones listed here, the ones that go to legendary tier, and then the normals. Every one of these cards comes with a backstory. I highly recommend you read them. They're really cool. They spent a lot of time on these. Like I said, they all have full stories to them, as well as the ability to test the hero out. You can literally see what it does, see how the abilities work at an ascended level, and kind of see what it does. So spend some time on that hero page and just kind of get familiar with these cards and what they do, and it'll answer a lot of the questions for you, but it'll help you kind of figure out what type of heroes you like to use. One thing in the future I'd like to really focus on is using heroes like this. To me, he's a really unique hero. He looks cool. His abilities are really cool. I like his whirlwind abilities. So there's a lot of things that you can dive into this game. There's hundreds of different types of teams you can create to suit what you like to play. And that's one thing I like about this game is you're not forced to do just one meta team. There's so many heroes and so many options and so many strategies that you're able to really build the type of team you want with, whether it's just heroes you like how they look, or if it's their abilities, or a million other things. They don't have to be all from one faction or one type. Now, if you click down here on this little arrow, you can actually search these by different skills as well, whether they're defensive, agility, intelligence. So that'll help you when you're kind of switching around gear and things. You can see, obviously, when I'm pushing on with a Brutus card or on a tower with the Maulers, I'm going to take these boots off of Estrelda and I'm going to place them over here on Brutus, who obviously we get that Mauler benefit from. So it'll allow you to push a little bit further on that tower. Now remember, when you're finished with that, you will have to remove that gear and put it back on your main character, as that character is probably set as your starter in a lot of things like the arena, and you would hate to lose a lot of levels because of that. I'm actually going to jump in here and do a couple. I've got 2 battles available, and we're getting close to the deadline. I think we got I got this game screen recorder thing at the top, so it's kind of hard to deal with. I can't even see it right now. But I got a few days left on this, so I kind of like to stay on top of it. One thing I recommend is to go against people you know you can beat. It's not worth it. There's until you get really good at this game and you get the heroes you need, a lot of these teams are going to be really tough. This is not a team I would like to go up against. They got too many healers. They've got a Brutus, which I do have a factional advantage on, but he's very tough. He's a very good character. But with all the healers behind him, it's hard to take him out. Shimira is my weakness to a lot of my light bears. So this is not a team that I would personally fight. Now, if I had a Mauler team, I wouldn't mind taking that on, especially with my power at 3.7 million. So even you can see just knowing the abilities of those characters, I've got 700,000 points on him almost, and I don't want to fight him because I know that I potentially would lose that battle due to the mechanics of the game because of the abilities of those characters if they go off at the right time. So I'm going to play a little bit safer on this round. We're going to play here, and I'm actually going to watch us out instead of zooming through it so we can talk about it a little bit. Again, Fox picked up with his casket one of the characters on the other team, making this a whole lot easier for me to push through. So that one was very, very easy. I do got one more battle in here. Let's see. We're going to click over here on the name, and again, this is going to be a cakewalk for me. Now, this guy does have almost a maxed crystal. He's got a couple cards he's got to get to 240. In my opinion, he probably should have focused on that Fox a little bit more and got him up to 240, but this team looks very similar to mine, how it did for a really long time. I did take out one of my tanks as I like the attack damage and the speed, so Fox is in there instead. And then Belinda, I've kind of gotten, I didn't really get enough of her to use her in the way that I want to. I would probably use her more if I could, but a viable option if you don't have her at that level, you can use a Rowan, who I really like to use, even though he's not ascended on my team. He's very, very good in a support role. You can also use who I like to use, which is Estrella, the horse, the girl on the horse. She's super, super good too for attack damage. She's also kind of tanky, so I put her up there in the front with Lucius. And then Fox in the back where Blend is standing, and that's about how I like to run it. So you'll see here in a second. We're going to actually go ahead and fight that. And you'll see I have my tank in the back. And the reason being is how strong my Fox is, and how deadly my team gets when Lucius is able to stay alive long enough to use that shield ability. So he is actually more beneficial to me in the back, because as soon as that ability goes off, everything changes in the whole game. Shimira is not quite as vulnerable. She lasts a little longer, which takes out a lot of the enemy's strong guys. As you can see, it looks like I was about to lose, but because of that shield, it was able to take my team and allow them to pop off their specials one more time and win me that battle. So I will go over a lot more of that in combat stuff as well. When the game resets tonight, we'll be able to go over this Heroes of Asperia event as well. I'm gold 5 in that currently. We'll see if we can't push a little further. So moving forward over here, let's talk about ascending some heroes here. Once you figure out what type of team that you want and you figure out the heroes that you want, you need to be very strategic on how you do this. There is an event going on right now, which is pretty awesome. The Assembly of Heroes. Once you get 150, you'll basically get this top reward, which is a skin for Brutus, which I cannot wait to see. They'll release it 7 days before the event ends, which will be in 14 days and 6 hours from now. They're going to release that. So we'll have a video up for that as soon as they release that, as well as these other cards. You get to choose one of these. This is a very hard choice for me because I use Lucius. That's going to be rough. I hadn't even looked at what they offered in this chest yet, because I do love getting faction scrolls. They're so helpful. So I'm going to have to debate which one we're going to do that. So if you guys want to leave a comment down in the box, maybe we can maybe take a vote on that and see which one we should go with. As well as you get your 10 common hero scrolls, which is always super nice in an event that really didn't take any work. You're just really making your team better, and they gave you plenty of time to do it. Also, shout out to the game. This was awesome. Keep giving them likes, guys. Keep following them. They gave us a free Wukong. You can also purchase him, like I said, in the Labyrinth store. He's 45,000. I did purchase one, so I do have him at Epic Plus right now. I like to use him in time. He seems like a pretty cool hero. But there's so many options in here that are so viable to help your team. Shimira, this is how I bought her and got her up there. Estrella, if you're going that way. If you wanted to branch out, this is a great card. Probably the best healer in the game, in my opinion. This is going to take a really long time. In my opinion, they may have to rework this card, make it a little easier to get. 240,000 soul gems, or 240,000 tokens in order to unlock this, as you only get 15 every time for 60,000. Makes it really difficult to want to even save for that. Now, it is a good card. I like it, but even just getting it once, yeah, you can tier it to one of your cards, but then you can't use it with that card. So it's kind of iffy on me. I may do it, though. I may save up for it. We'll see. Now, when you hit after 240 again, the crystals changed. In order to level that up, you're going to, every single level, you're going to need to use Hero Dust. As you can see, to go to level 266, it's going to cost me 10,419 Hero Dust. This was one of the hardest things to acquire in this game. Once I level it up, I'll get to strengthen this crystal 10 times. Now, that will take just gold, and that'll take just experience. So I'll show you guys that when the time comes. We'll go ahead and go over that process as well. Every time you strengthen the crystal, you won't be leveling up your cards, but they will be getting stronger every time you do strengthen them up. So that is something you want to do. However, it gets very tedious, and it takes a very long time to get those cards leveled up. So don't lose hope. You do gain a lot every time you strengthen that crystal or level up. All right. And then the last thing I wanted to go over with you guys, from time to time, if you've been leveling up different cards, once you hit 240 on the crystal, literally everything goes on the crystal. So go ahead and rickety cart over here anything you're not using. I need to go ahead and do that myself. I just haven't yet because they're just not worth the 20. I'm going to be honest, they're just not right now worth the 20 gems to me. But if you have cards that you can gain some hero dust from, like I said, it's the hardest thing to get in the game. You can buy it every day, 500 of it. Sometimes it'll pop up over here on the left. Always buy that. I'm a little bit hesitant to spend 9,000 of it here in the shop just because there's so many new cards coming out and I really, really like them. But other than that, those are kind of my strategies here. There's a lot of things going on in-game. Now I'm on Chapter 24. It's getting pretty tough if you don't have specific heroes. Like, you'll hit a wall, kind of how you see mine here, until I get my Brutus strong enough and I can get some Maulers in to give me a factional advantage on this, or I level my cards up significantly more. I'm kind of stuck at a wall, and you'll find that happening quite a bit. They did call it AFK Arena for a reason. It's going to take you some time, but it's worth it. This is a fun game. There's other aspects of the game you can dive into when you're stuck here, such as the peaks of time. If you guys have any questions on that, feel free to leave a comment. Specific ones on a specific one you're stuck on, I'll make a whole video on it for you. I don't mind doing walkthroughs and guides. The King's Tower as well. You have so many options in this game from events. I'm sure another Voyage of Wonders is going to be kicking off soon, as well as different options in the arenas, the Legends Challenger tournaments, the Arena of Heroes. They've constantly got different events going on. So even if you're stuck in one area of the game, guys, it doesn't necessarily mean you can't continue your progress through the game. Like I said, if you get extra time, spend some time, read these heroes. It's probably the most crucial thing you can do. This is my team. If you guys have any questions, like I said, just let me know. Let me know what you guys are using. Let me know what kind of strategies you've come up with, how you've been leveling up. If you guys are further than me, I'd love to have advice myself. So feel free to leave it in the comment below. Have a great day, guys. Talk to you later.